Okay, so in this tutorial, we're going to put together the Winter Wonderland Paperscape box card. And what we're going to do is we're going to begin with this piece here. Okay, and you want to find this piece here. And we're going to just assemble the main structure of our box card. Okay, so we're going to place glue on this tab here, as well as this tab here. You know, you can do just one at a time. And what we're going to do is just make sure that the bottom of this is flush with the bottom of the card. Okay, and we're just going to get that glued into place. Just make sure that you get this as perfectly aligned as possible, because we want to make sure that it folds properly once we have it all together. Okay, so just get that glued into place. Check your alignment while the glue is still setting. Okay, and then, oops, forgot I had glue there. You can actually tuck that in like that. I'm going to reapply my glue here because I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. And you can just kind of glue that into place like so, because technically it should be at the perfect alignment when it's folded flat like this. Okay, so that is a good way to start this project. Okay, now while we have it flat, before we do anything else, we may as well decorate the exterior of this. Okay, so we can go ahead and begin by putting this panel on. Okay, let me flip this over so you can see. And this panel just gets glued on right here, like so. You've got a nice little even border all the way around it. Okay, so go ahead and put your glue all over this piece here. Make sure that you got glue out to the edges so that it sits nice and flush. I'm going to do a nice line in the middle first, and then do a few lines, maybe just a nice flattened line on the exterior. Get it out to the edge. Make sure that you've got good coverage. So just make sure that you get that nice and glued on there. And then we just want to find the rest of the little panels that go on the side. Okay, so there's two of those. Okay, and these are going to get glued on right here. You want a nice even border all the way around. Okay, so you're going to do that on both sides. Oops. And I did not apply enough glue, but you will have enough glue on yours. Okay, so that gets glued on there. And we kind of jazzed it up with some rhinestones, put a nice purple one in the middle. However you want to do it, it's totally up to you. And that's that piece, okay? And now we also have an interior piece that you do want to get glued down before you do anything else, okay? So that is going to be almost flush with the bottom. You kind of just want to make sure that it's flush at the top. Okay, so you can get that glued down. And also, we've got a moon, okay? And that moon is going to get, there's little score lines on this purple piece that we just put in there. As you can see in your video, you've got little score lines there. And that's to help you with the alignment of the moon. So you want to just kind of get that aligned like so. And we did our moon in a like white glitter. We kind of inked the edge of it with a nice orange ink to kind of make it a little more dreamy looking, okay? And what we can do at this point is begin putting together the various layers, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about those real quick. And actually, before we do that, I just want to talk about the other pieces that go on the front. So you'll see that we have two of these, and we did that because this is sort of a fragile piece. We wanted to kind of reinforce it a little bit. Again, we did ours in a white glitter, and that's pretty thick on its own, but in case you're not using a white glitter and you're just using cardstock, you want to get these two pieces glued together. And it's a good idea to get the first one on your table nice and flat so that the little branches are not sticking out, okay? The sticky from your mat should kind of help hold that down, okay? Then you're gonna put glue all over the whole thing and do your best to kind of get it aligned. And if it's not perfect, it's okay, because it may actually give the illusion of some more depth if it's just slightly off. So don't be too nitpicky about getting that perfect, okay? So that's that piece. And if you take a look at the rest of the pieces here, there's a little banner that goes on the front, and that's made up of these two pieces. So you're just going to get those two glued together. And again, you can do a print and cut on this piece here, or you can stamp on it. That's completely up to you. Below that is a cute little snowflake that's made up of these two pieces. So you're just going to get those glued together. Okay, at the top of the card here, as you can see, there is another snowflake that's made up of these pieces. Okay, so you just want to get those glued together. And we've got, the rest of it is just the little internal layers, and we'll talk about those here in just one second. And then, by the way, we didn't discuss this piece here. This is the liner for the back of the card that goes right here, okay? So that's obviously a nice little spot for your message, or for some journaling, or for a large stamp. It could even be for a Christmas dinner invitation, whatever you want to do. So we've got all that taken care of as far as how the gluing and all that works. So let's move this out of the way and talk about these pieces here. This is the backmost insert, okay? And that is simply made up of this piece and this piece. So you're gonna get that glued into place like so. And that's really it for that piece, okay? And then we have the middle insert, I guess you can call it. And that is made up of these two pieces. So you just wanna kind of get that glued into place like so, okay, just like that. So get that glued into place, and you can see that here, okay. And then our front row is made up of this piece and this tree here, okay, and you're just going to get that glued into place. Oops, actually I have it backwards. You're going to have it glued just like that, okay? So that's how that works. And the rest of it is simply just putting it together. Oh, and by the way, I did forget to mention these two little teardrop pieces, okay? And those you see here at the bottom, they go on either side of the snowflake. So you've got all this stuff put together. Let's just go ahead and discuss how these inserts work, okay? Now, this front one, which is this large Christmas tree, you're gonna put this in last, okay? What you wanna do is you wanna start with this piece here with the people, okay? So fold that in, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your glue, and you're gonna put glue on both of these tabs, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and kind of bend it in the middle. You can do it this way. And we're just gonna slide it in and just make sure that you have these tabs here touching the back, okay, and also flush with the bottom. And we just wanna get that glued into place, okay? And what you can do, actually, is when you have that in place, you can actually push this down to help you get the glue set, okay? Because this box card does close like that. So you can kind of bend it both ways to get that to set properly, okay? So as long as this is flush with the bottom and touching the back, you know you have it in the right spot, okay? And then you're gonna take this piece and you're gonna fold the tabs towards you, okay? And we're going to put glue on these tabs, Okay, and we're going to slide this in. And just want to make sure, and at this point you can flip this over because that other piece is going to be dry, and just make sure that those tabs are touching the front of the card and also flush with the bottom. So we just get that aligned. Okay, and again, you can bend that over to ensure that you've got it perfectly lined up. Okay, so as you can see, we've got these nice and glued down, and just make sure that when you do that, that it folds properly going both ways, and that ensures that you've got it in place, in the correct place. And then finally, we've got this piece here, okay, and that's actually going to get glued right to the front, okay, and that is also going to be flush with the bottom, okay. So as you can see here, that is this front piece here. We also inked that with a little bit of blue ink. Okay, so what you can do for this piece then is just take some glue and put glue along the edge of this piece and just slide it in, being careful not to get glue everywhere, and then pop it up against the face of the card. Okay, and then you can of course push down to get that nice and glued into place. Okay, make sure that you got it all the way to the top here. Okay, so that is what that should look like. Okay, and then finally, all that's really left to do is get all of your little decorative pieces glued into place. And we do have some little score lines here to help you with the alignment of this piece here. So as long as you have it matching up with the score lines, you know you have it in the right place. So you can get that glued down by putting glue down here and along the edge here, okay? And then finally, all that's left to do is just jazz this thing up. Okay, you're gonna put your banner on here, and that banner, the top of it is gonna be flush with this nice elliptical or round part of the card base. Okay, so that gets glued down like so. We pop dotted that star there. You've got your little teardrops that go like so. Okay, and then a nice little snowflake up at the top. And your card is all done. Should look like this when it's all completed. And the cool thing about this is you've got these cutaways here for an electronic tea light, which you can place underneath here, and it illuminates the card. And there you go.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.